Hello, everyone. Well, I am Sweet Pea,
And I'm Pretty Bird.
and together we are Pretty Sweet. Welcome to Pretty about life, love, poetry, and prowess. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the distractions in the form of open discussions on artful words. Well, of course, we're going to have rules because we're grown up people talking about grown up things using grown up words. If you're easily offended, this may not be your balance and tea bag, cup of tea, or whatever floats your boat. We like to have fun, poke fun, and generally have a great time. If you're down to be distracted, come on, hang out, call, chat, like, follow, share, leave your opinions on our opinions. Click all the hearts and show us some love. We have live streams every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. And tonight is all about, but what do I get? It seems that doing something because it's the right thing to do, just because, or out of kindness, has fallen out of favor. In this instant entitlement society where everything feels transactional and everything has a price, whatever happened to kindness? And this is so true. Everybody wants something for something. If your neighbor needs milk, or if your mother-in-law needs something, it's always, maybe not your mother-in-law, but your neighbor. Well, can you go to the store and get me some milk? How? Got a few bucks for gas? Or if you're doing something really well at your job, it's, well, I expect a raise, I expect a bonus, I expect this. We just don't do things out of kindness. You found a wallet? Well, how much am I going to get because I'm giving you back your wallet? There are so many things and so many examples out there about people always wanting something. What's in it for me? If I'm going to do something, you better be prepared to give me something. Because I'm not going to do anything just because I'm supposed to. I'm going to do something because I'm going to get something for it. I'm not going to pick up litter on the street because, that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm going to pick up litter on the street because I expect somebody to praise me or tell me what a good guy I am or any of those things. Just don't expect me to do something without recognition. I am going to tell you right now, no offense to any male out there, but I am sure I can gather a bunch of wives or girlfriends and say, how many times has your partner ever done something in the house? I did the dishes, I folded the laundry, I mopped the floor. Do they come up and tell you, look what I did? Because they want recognition. They didn't do it just to do it because they're adults and they want to be told, hey, look what a great job I did. See what I did? Oh, come on, show me. Let me show you what I did. I don't understand that. I have never once run up to my husband and said, look, I vacuumed the bedroom. I did the dishes. I cleaned the toilet. But there's something in it for them. What's in it for me? What did I do? Give me that pat on the back. You know, there's got to be what's in it for me. What happened to just general kindness, just doing something to do it because it's the right thing to do. We've got road rage. You know, I've had my turn signal on for a half a mile. Oh, no, no, you're not coming over. I don't care. No, no. And God, if you did, I'm going to chase you for a half a mile because I don't know what you took from me, but you took something. You took space, you took time, you took something from me, and I'm going to let you know it. Um, you're going to get chased, you're going to get checked, you're going to hopefully not turn into some kind of road rage incident. But there is something, if you do, somebody wants something for you. So everybody is going to run amok to get something. I don't care what it is. If it's a 2 for 1, somebody's going to complain about it. The bag was ripped. This was done. This was dirty. This was something. And they're going to want to get the price down. I've seen it, I don't know how many times when I was working in retail. I'm sorry, but these pants look a little dusty. I think that, you should give me 10% off. Or I think this has a small snare in it. I think I should get 5% off. Well, with your attitude, I should get all of it free. Being in the restaurant industry was hilarious. Your server was a little slow. Can I get my meal comped? What are you talking about? Should you get your meal comped? Because she was what? How slow was she? I mean, she had all kinds of things she was serving 16 people. You have 9 of those people on your table. How fast is fast? What is it for you? So, is there any kindness left? Is there anything that we can do without the expectation of getting something back? Pretty Bird, your thoughts?
Well, I think people are individuals and they're going to see what they can get away with because people like to get something for nothing. The problem that I have isn't the outer society out in the world where everybody wants some free stuff for the most minor thing or a discount on thing. My problem is with the people that I know. It's with friends and family that you're like, hey, can you grab that off the shelf for me, while they're standing right there and I could be in the middle of something and they're like, well, okay, okay, it's take my kids because kids are kids, and they're like, "Hey, it's like, can you grab that for me, please? Since you're standing up." And they'll be like, can I stay out an extra hour late? Well, now you can't go out at all. Give me the damn thing on the shelf for Pete's sake, because no, because here's the thing. If I'm up and I'm out and about and I'm whatever, out of kindness, even for strangers, if they're like, "Can you grab this off the top shelf? Here you go. If I can reach it and you can't reach it, here you go. It's not no skin off my teeth." It's not like I'm gonna be like, well, can you crawl down on the floor and get me that thing that's way in the bottom of the back over there? Because it doesn't need to be tit for tat. And that's what irks me. It's the what, but more so with the ones that know you that are like, well, what do I get? Well, if I do this, if you do that, if I do this for you, what do I get? What's in it for me? And when you turn affection into transactions, it stops being something you want to give. And for me, I mean, it takes some time, but I absolutely lose respect for people. And I get the annoyingness of um, the uneven workload in the household, where the one that's used to not doing anything decides to do something, usually after being told about 15,000 times. And they're like, look, I did the dishes. Good for fucking you. You know, I still
Well,
have, you know,
it's a
I
cookie.
still have everybody's dishes. I still have the sheets. I still have whatever I need to watch for the dogs. I still have all of the things. And that is the least you can do, since you're the one who, decided to cook, lunch and dinner and leave all the dishes because you don't clean up after yourself. And I get that in a lot of places I cook, you clean. But if that's not the normal and you expect me to cook and clean when I'm cooking, I expect you to cook and clean when you're cooking. This isn't oh well, I cook every fucking day and you still don't do the dishes. So if you want to play that game, we can absolutely reorganize the math. But they don't want to do that because the expectation. And it's just easier, unfortunately, to just do it yourself. They just shut the fuck up because you're wasting my time. You're taking my energy. Now I don't want to do it either. It's a lot. But it's those little things. It's the neighbor that you help move whatever, move their furniture around or put their bed together or whatever it is that they ask you to do because you're friendly. You're like, absolutely, here you go, whatever. And the fact, I mean, whether or not they offer you a beer or a pizza or whatever, doesn't matter. You do it, you say yes, no expectation. But if you're like, hey, can I borrow your 16-foot ladder? And they're like, yeah, no, I don't really like to lend my stuff out. Oh, listen, you fucker, you want all my shit. You want my time. You want my effort. I can't borrow your ladder for half an hour. Are you kidding me? Um, because the people that want the kindness of others, you would think that they would offer their own kindness, but more often than not, unfortunately, I have found in my own experience that that's not the case. They will ask and ask and ask and ask and politely decline with what sounds like reasonable things, But if you can't count on them at all ever to be kind back to you when it takes their time or a little bit of effort, then it's not really kindness. And then people get all upset when you change your tune. Well, and I'm sorry, but I can't help you on, set up your new 65-inch TV. And they're like, well, you're just really good at that. Yeah, no. Well, what are you doing? I don't need to be doing anything. I don't know you fucking explanation. No means no, leave me alone. You didn't really let me borrow your ladder. You're not borrowing my back. And but most people are like, yeah, all right, sure, I guess I can help. Because it's hard to change who you are. If you are a kind and giving person, it's hard to then be like, no, if it's something you can actually do that you don't mind doing. But if they don't mind saying no, we need to learn to stick to our guns and not be like, well, you didn't do for me, so I'm not doing for you, because that's kind of equal and opposite to the other one, you know. But if you don't want to, that's a good enough reason not to. There should not be any more societal pressure to do things just because it's kind, when today's unfortunate society has deemed kindness as unnecessary, where we are in this land of entitled people, where everything is me, 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 where other people are treated like secondary citizens. Why then are the nice ones still expected to be nice? you know and if we change and all of a sudden we're the bitch, we are selfish, we have no consideration, we're disrespectful, what the f do you think you are? Maybe pay the $15 to have them set your shit up, instead of being all pissed off that I'm not doing it for you. you know I'm just like, I have a
Mm,
problem with people's expectations of my kindness when they have no
mm,
kindness to
mm,
offer. And I promise you, I seldom ever ask for anything from anybody. So if I'm asking, it's because I need help or I need whatever it is. And if I've been your neighbor for 5 years, and we're friendly and we talk, and I've brought you food when I know you're sick, or I've grabbed your mail when you're on vacation, and vice versa. If we're neighbors that are that friendly, there should be an expectation of kindness. There should be a mutual level of respect, and there isn't. People are still, well, what are you going to do for me? Well, why should I do that? Or they're the ones that'll be like, yeah, okay, absolutely. And then the next time they want something for you, it's 10 times more strenuous, or takes more out of you. They're like, yeah, but, I let you borrow my ladder. Yeah, okay, but now I'm not putting all of your, I'm not helping you fucking move. That's not the same. That is not equal. And people tend to do that. The ones that are transactional, they're like, yes, I will do this little thing for you, and they'll either ask for something at that point, or they will hold that in the bank of, well, I did this and you didn't have to ask me twice, and so the fact that you're making me yada 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 blah blah blah, and then they try to bully you into doing something exorbitant for them because they're too lazy or too cheap to do it themselves. And it always comes down to time or money. And it's unfortunate that people choose to um have interpersonal relationships turn into these transactions, instead of just being good people, just doing things 'cause it's the right thing to do, just being kind, because what's that going to hurt anybody? There should be no expectation of anything, but a little reciprocity is still the right thing to do, even if you don't expect it. Nobody ever has to say yes, but you can't get mad about it if they also tell you no, when you go to ask them next time. It's just people are consistently selfish, and they don't even notice it most of the time. And I think that that's what bothers me the most, is that they don't see the the difference between the way they are and what they say and what they ask versus what they are willing to do. They don't see anything wrong with it. They don't clock it as two different parts of the equation. They only math in their favor. And I don't understand a mindset that doesn't consider anybody else but themselves. And the sad truth of that is that the people that think like that oftentimes forget to include their family in the mix of their decision making and everything else, because they are seriously dialed in to what their needs and or the greater good are, that they overlook or bypass their spouses or what their kids need. Well, I'm going to need this 65-inch TV because I'm having the Super Bowl party, and last time there was people in the back couldn't see because my room's this long rectangle, so I'm going to fix that by this. No, I'm sorry, I can't buy your yearbook, son, even though it's senior year. Let's hope they have them at the beginning of the year. At the end of the year, they have leftovers because I can't buy it now because I bought a 65-inch TV. Because they don't give a crap about what anybody else might need or want because they're very myopic. And the sad thing is that these are normal everyday people. These aren't monsters. These aren't the Karens. These aren't the outright bullying entitlement. They're normal everyday people that just never learn that they aren't always the most important person in every conversation. And it sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I don't know if you've ever watched any of these shows like Feel Thy Neighbor or anything like that, but you kind of what you're talking about, where these neighbors ask for this or they ask for that, and it just gets so out of hand. Like I've watched a few of these shows, and it just starts that way. Well, can I borrow your ladder? Can I do this? Can I do that? And it escalates to where these neighbors, I mean, some of them end up killing each other. These shows are crazy about the entitlement factor. Um, and it all kind of goes by, it just started with something as simple as, can I borrow your saw? And it just went on and on and on. So yeah, your your conversation about, I just want to borrow my ladder, and they keep it in their head and it just goes crazy. So Rack, your thoughts?
Uh, I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this. It's I can't. I I have to be me. So it's not so much transactional or anything like that. It's you know, I don't know. I don't know how to put it. I don't know what to say in relation to the way you're describing it. I will say though, if I do see you picking up the trash, I will tell you you've got a nice ass.
OMG. It's funny. So I would be the crappy neighbor, not the crappy neighbor. I would be you're going to be an asshole. I now hate you, neighbor. So a couple of years ago,
Oh
lightning
God.
struck a tree on my neighbor's yard, and this
I forgive you.
giant branch took down the electric on my side of the fence and smashed through my chain link fence. And so we had to have everything redone. We had to pay like $1,200 to rerun wires and all this stuff because it was between the pole and my house. The electric people are like, yeah, that's not on us, dude. We go up to the box, not out of the box. I'm like, oh, you fucking suck. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. But when my family, my husband and my boys were taking the chainsaw and cutting all the pieces of this 15-foot long 12-inch in diameter freaking branch, when we're cutting that up to go and put in, buy our dumpster and over there for them to take, they're outside. The neighbors outside. They're like, "Oh man, that sucks." They didn't offer to help. They didn't offer to pay for our fence. They didn't do anything except for be like, "Oh man, that sucks." It's your fucking tree on your yard that we told you how many times that you need to get this trimmed up because it's your fucking tree, you know? And we can only trim what we can trim. And we could not reach that high on that. And it's half their tree is gone, and it fell on both sides of the fence, but through our fence. And I'm just like, can we sue them? This should be on their homeowners insurance because it's their fucking tree, you know? And my husband's like, "Nah, it's fine." No, it's not fucking fine. They didn't even offer to help carry the shit to the yard after you cut it up. What the hell is wrong with these fucking neighbors? So I do not talk to these people because that's who they are. They are out there with their little bonfires that are unwatched at 2 o'clock in the morning, and they don't chop their trees, and things are falling. Like, that's gonna burn down my house. So I can't sleep because I have to make sure that fire goes out after they go to sleep after being drunk at 2 o'clock in the morning. And it's the loudest all get out. And I'm sitting there going, these people have no fucking sense. We are not friends. Let them ask me for something.
Ugh.
That's all I'm saying. My neighbors across the street, I'll give them whatever they want. I love these people. They're absolutely fabulous. I have no problems. But the neighbors behind me, oh hell no. If you oh that sucks. Oh, fuck you.
Mm.
My husband is very nice. I don't care. I care. I care. This is why I don't get to talk to those neighbors because I'm not nice.
You're not allowed to talk to those neighbors.
Well,
Uh,
because I'd be like, "Oh, do you ever plan on doing something about this? Because we've been waiting." And I mean, as nice as can be, "Hey, how's your day?" Yada yada, blah blah blah. But I will bring it up, and then I get told off at home.
mm.
Why'd you have to go there? Because you wouldn't. Well, it's not worth it to you. So we already had to pay $1,200 for a new line that they broke. I'm not paying for this whole freaking fence because you can't just fix that fence. You got to fix the whole line, and that's like 150 yards or some nonsense, feet, not yards, of fence. And I'm just like, I'm not doing it. I don't want to deal with it. It's fine. But that's
Yeah.
enough about my crappy neighbor.
But yeah, I agree. It's crazy. It's nuts. We ended up putting cameras on the back of our house because our house is like the perfect house to cut through the neighborhoods to go to the corner store. And we kept having neighbors literally cut through our backyard. And the one time they literally removed our fence. They picked up the gate, took it off the post, and we had no idea. And the next morning, Remington and Mystique are in the backyard or in the front yard at the door looking at us like, hey, we're in the front. I mean, thank God they didn't run away, but we're like, how are you at the front door? Oh, okay. Because they tore down the back fence of the neighbor, the shared fence, and they had stepped all the way down, but we had put a lock on our fence, so they just decided to rip it up and pull the whole fence and throw it on the ground. Well, we fixed that by putting the fence in upside down, so they can't do that anymore. But yeah, it's crazy because if our dogs were runners or like, hey, you're free, but they didn't. But that's crazy what people will do to your property. They have no respect for, hey, this is mine. Walk around the whole block to go to the corner store. You don't have to cut through my yard. Um, yeah, I don't understand people. But, the next time we saw them on camera, I'm out there like, I want to get out of my yard, go back over the fence, and my husband's like, don't talk to them like that.
Instructors.
Just be nice. I'm like, no, I'm not going to be nice, Bob. And yeah, he's just much more calmer about it than I was. But yeah, I had the young lady in tears, and he was much more nicer. I don't know why. But anyway, that's my neighborhood.
Appreciate
Yeah, I was not nice about it at all. And Bud, your thoughts on this whole experience of, give me something for something.
I'm kind of like Rack. I really don't have much to say about that.
Well, that's because you're nice and you
Ma,
like to see the best in people, which is a beautiful trait
well,
to have.
I think, everybody goes through their traumas and things like that and their situations in life. And I just try to keep everything down to a very low roar so that I don't really have to worry
it.
about much. because it seems like after my heart attack, heart surgery, dad dying, losing my job that I had for 40 years, all this nonsense with the pandemic, mom with her strokes. It's like, you get humbled, like, er, you know, and you stay humbled. And when that happens, it's like, you look at other people and what they do and why they do things, and it, it, you know, it's not really that. To me, it's not really that important why they do it. If they have some other, reason because they want um, some kind of attention, to show, hey, I'm filming myself on TikTok mowing so and so's yard, so look at me, I'm doing a great thing. That's great if that's what you need. But when I used to mow my,
All I
uh,
heard was bless your
next
heart.
yards, I never said anything. I didn't even let them know that I mowed it. They just came out, with their little oxygen tanks and saw that it was mowed, and that was it. They didn't even know who did it, and it doesn't matter. It needed to get done,
And
and
that's the difference
that's the
between
way
being
I look at
good-hearted.
things. So, and
That
and I've been told, when people say, "Well, you don't know what they're doing if you give them money or you do this or you do that." I said, "Well, that's on them. I'm doing it from a good point, a good side. My my reason is a good way. Whatever they do with it, that's all on them. It has
true.
nothing to do with me. So I don't feel like I'm ever being used for anything. Um,
It's
I think
funny
that's how
because
I feel about
that's the
stuff.
difference between doing something out of the goodness of your heart and performing for a reason. Doing something that makes you look good is the ones that have to put it everywhere, be like, look what I did, look what I did, look what I did for the 5 minutes that they do it, instead of just doing it to do it. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to be that good, to just do things because it's the right thing to do. And that requires no announcement. It requires no actual um praise from anybody. It's just you do this right thing to do. And the people you do things for, at the very least should, and I hate that word, appreciate it, just say thank you and you're good. Sometimes they don't, or sometimes they can't, and it doesn't change why you did it. And it doesn't change feeling good about that getting done. But the ones that perform kindness instead of actually being kind, to me, those are the biggest hypocritical a-holes I have ever met, because like I did a nice thing. Why didn't you say thank you? Why didn't you notice? Why didn't you this and why didn't you that? Oh, I'm sorry. I am still sick in the hospital. I don't know what the hell you did. I didn't let you in my house. I don't care what you cleaned. I'm mad that somebody let you in there. So I'm not going to sit here when I'm still sick and not say thank you for something I didn't know you did. What the hell's wrong with you? I literally had somebody um go and do my laundry. And I'm like, "Who let you in my house? Why are you in my I would rather you not be there if I'm not there than but yeah, but I did your laundry. I don't know what the fuck you did. You just said, "Hey, I stopped by your house and why were you in my house?"
I
You know? It's
steal your
not
panties.
nice if oh, probably. It's not a nice thing if it causes somebody stress and anxiety. There are things you can do that don't take anything but kindness. But if you know somebody well enough to want to do their laundry, which you have to know somebody pretty well to want to deal with their dirty underpants, then if you know me, you should know I don't do surprises. It's not kindness to me, it's stress. And if you're going to stress me out while I'm in the hospital, you're an asshole, you know? Now, it would have been different if the husband had invited people over, or like when I would go away for a week and come back, he would have the entire house clean. Best freaking thing to come home to. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
so that I don't mind. But I've literally had people go into my hospital room when I'm sick to ask me to thank them for things that I did not know that they did. And then get upset when when my question, as calm as can be, was, why were you in my house? I mean, to me, that's a reasonable question, especially if you know me. So there's a big difference between doing something just to do it because it's the right thing to do, and doing something so that you need the accolades or you need to post it all over the place so people can see that you're kind and that you're giving. If you need people to see it, then you're trying too damn hard. Just do what needs doing because it's the right thing to do. And I think, Bud, you're probably, out of all the people I know, the most like that, the most that's just going to do it and just be done. And if people take a hot minute to notice, they take a hot minute to notice. And if they give you too many kudos, it's a little uncomfortable, even though you appreciate it. And it's a beautiful way to be that kind hearted, to be that giving of oneself. Because, a lot of people are like, buy this for me or get this for that or do this for me, when it is time that you cannot make up, that you cannot get back. That to me is the most kind of beautiful thing to offer somebody with no expectation in return, And it sucks that the world is no longer skewed towards the majority in that direction. Where back in polite society that I'm finger quoting, the polite is, I mean, shoot, some of the society isn't even society anymore, but there is no expectation of politeness. Nobody knows what manners are. People are like, oh my gosh, they're so disrespectful. Do you even know the meaning of the word? Do you even know how you're acting right now? And it's unfortunate because it costs nothing to be a nice person. And just to be clear, for anybody who's ever going to listen to this, being nice does not mean being a doormat. Being nice does not mean saying yes to everything you don't want to do. You can have all the boundaries you want and still be kind. It costs nothing. It takes nothing away from you to be a nice person. But if you're going to complain, okay, listen, I complain a lot. I owe the hypocrisy. But if you're going to complain about what people are trying to do for you, because you would have done it different or they didn't fold your towels right, my goodness, I love my friends. I do. And I stopped going over
You
and
put the
helping
toilet
people watch
paper
their
on
kids.
backwards.
Well, I just fix it at people's houses because I'm that kind of rude. But there was I called her. She was a good friend for a time, and she had foot surgery. And I went over to her house. She had 2 kids. I went over to her house, brought my oldest because they were friends, and I would watch them, give them a snack. I cooked dinner once, and I helped her fold laundry. I didn't wash the laundry. I helped her fold laundry. No, I folded her towels. I asked specifically, "How do you like your towels folded?" Because people feel some kind of way. And she's like, "Oh, I don't. As long as I don't have to fold them, I don't give a shit." Okay, great. So I folded the towels. So I folded the towels, but I put them all back in the hamper, all stacked up in pairs of colors, nice and neat. So because I wasn't dealing with somebody else's linen closet, her husband, when he got home, could put them away. I didn't have a problem with any of that. So I'm talking to her later from the house, and she thought she muted me, and she was
Oh,
complaining up a storm, dumping the towels out, having to refold everything. And I said, "Excuse me." She's like, "Oh, hello?" And I was like, "I asked you specifically how you wanted them folded. And you said nothing while I was there. You can't be mad at me when that's on you, but it's okay. I promise I won't make that mistake again." And I hung up the phone as nice as can be. And I was still her friend, but I sure the hell didn't do anything nice to her or offer anything for her because fuck that. I'm just saying. I know some assy people apparently. Jeez, Louise, I'm gonna shut up now. I'm
why
depressing
would you want
myself.
to
I'm
do
like,
something
this is why
for
I have
someone?
like 5 friends. What?
Why would you
What
want
was
to do
that, Rack?
something for someone that's ungrateful? Why would you want to do
Well, I
something
didn't
for
know
someone
she
that's
was
ungrateful?
ungrateful. She was perfectly nice to my
Right,
face, and
right.
I
I
had
know.
known her for like 7 years. And then all of a sudden, she's all turning ass on the phone because she didn't. I'm like, oh, we're good. I'm so sorry. I don't. Yeah, we're fine. I will never do anything like that again for you. I will not help you cook. I will not watch your kids, and I sure as hell ain't gonna fold your laundry. But we're good. I'll see you at school. Where our kids can play. We're fine. But things will shift because when people show you who they are, if they are different behind your back than to your face, it's a problem. You know. I mean, how much does it cost to be like,
Yes.
that's not how I like my towels. I was like, and I would be like, teach me. I will do them however you want them because I know how people get. I really know some assy fucking people. Oh my God. It's fine.
I would have just said thank you. Even if you
Right?
told me, yeah, I mean, who cares how
I
you
would have
told
been
me?
like, I've got $20 in my wallet. Thank you for letting me not have to. None of my friends would take it, but I have it. Please, because now I don't have to worry about it. You watched my kids, you made my family dinner, and you folded my towels. Fuck, you're the best person on the planet.
Exactly. Just like, oh God, thank you so much. I'll roll them up and throw them in the cupboard no matter how they look. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah,
So I
that's
had
what
this family
I do it.
member that would dump all the she would do all the week's worth of laundry at once, and then she would clear out the giant dining room table that was at the house and dump everything, this giant laundry mountain on top, and it would take her the longest time to go through them, and sometimes days. And I would go over there, and it used to be that I would just sit there and start folding clothes because A, I needed space at the table, and B, it's overwhelming to look at that pile. So if I'm overwhelmed that it's not mine, I have no problem sitting there having a conversation, folding some shit. Don't have a problem. But I promise you, the first time I walked in exhausted and sat on the couch and didn't go right to that table, and I said, "Well," and I got told, "Aren't you going to fold laundry?" I grabbed my kid and walked the fuck out. I said, "No, that's not my job. I've got my own laundry. I'll be back later." And I left. And I got told off like something awful. Why are you so selfish for not folding your fucking laundry? I've got my own fucking kids. I've got my own laundry. I helped you because out of courtesy, you can't give me 5 minutes to catch my breath before I help you, before you complain. And now you lost me. Not doing it again. And I didn't.
Oh my God, that's just rude.
A family really kind of has these weird expectations that just because you do it, does out of kindness, that they expect you to do it all the time. And I'm just like, no, I don't expect you to do anything. I don't do this so that you're nice to me or that you're gonna feed me or that you're gonna whatever. I do it because it needs doing. I don't have a problem with that. But when you start expecting it from me instead of appreciating it, the answer is, oh, sweetie, no, that's not my job. Bye.
Yeah, Bye is right. Well, I actually put a poem on the on the board. I'll put Mr. Bud up there so he can be our first reader.
Yay, I'm so excited.
Yes,
Holy crap.
I know.
All right, hold on. I'm a little behind.
That's all
I
right.
don't mind a little behind every now and then.
We like you a little behind.
Oh, I love
Ooh.
that you think it's little.
Okay, here's a crazy poem by a crazy person called EOD. A dereliction in marked contrasts when end of day commits violent acts. In a surreal swirl of aquamarine teal, amber waves of firecracker memes, lantern, a carousel of suited whispers, hieroglyphics hand motioning, rigid statistics and codes of conformity, foretelling feigned filaments, a crossroads of embolic visages, burning through incense and dogwood, maiming the six senses and crimson tides. They wash ashore only to be cast off to nowhere. How the Holy Grail turns ashen when faith is lost in ornamental reveries, as ill-inked ebony calligraphy unwrites, revealing the flaws through porous cracks in reality's teasing. End of days, indeed. End of poem.
Okay, so I love that this is a word bank and you put everything in there and all the vividity possible of words, and that is absolutely lovely. But how the Holy Grail turns ashen when faith is lost in ornamental reveries. Now, if we're talking about people, that is absolutely indicative of what I was just talking about with polite society is no longer polite. The expectation of a please and a thank you or somebody holding the door for a little old lady is completely out the window. Everybody's like, I'm holding it for myself. You can do it your damn self. And so, what we deemed as polite, I will call that the Holy Grail. And then, when faith is lost in ornamental reveries, we live in a land where people play kind. They perform kindness in ways that need to be seen, and only while they are being actively watched, because we've all
Yeah.
seen at some point some young person or some whatever trying to video something, whether they post it on TikTok or whatever or not. They give zero shits what anybody else around them is doing, about anybody else's, privacy, about anybody else's, personal space. They do what they want to do. And if they're doing one of those weird dances, I don't know if you've ever seen these in person. If they're doing a dance, they literally think that you're going to give them all the space they need when you don't know that they're going to do high kicks. How are you supposed to be walking around somebody if you don't know they're going to be being all twisty and taking up 10 times more space than usual? And then they're like, "Excuse you." Excuse who? I'm like, it's a sidewalk, you know. You're lucky I didn't break out with "I'm walking here," because seriously, but I love that because it's a kind way, a gentle way in words that are so vivid. When it turns to ash, like it's all burnt to shit. Life as we knew it is gone. Everybody's an asshole. I mean, that's how I take that, pertaining to tonight's topic. But it's a lovely, it's a lovely depiction. And by lovely, I don't mean that it's positive, because it's not, positive, but it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And you start off with dereliction and beautiful swirls of color that remind me of marble and ice cream. And it takes a skilled pen to write literal dereliction in multicolored facets of beauty, you know, because that um that juxtaposition is not an inline contrast of where people's mind goes when they think of dereliction. And so it's beautiful and it's poetic. And I love the amber waves of firecracker memes, because hello, 4th of July. And a lantern, a carousel of sooted whispers. And that's the thing. What people see, what we tout. And I'm going to go, I guess, patriotic for 2 seconds, because, amber waves of, firecrackers. What we look like in all of our American flags and all of our whatever is not indicative of the personal public conversations that people have in this unfortunate society that's pitting people against people. And so it is what we show versus what we live. And it's sad when they are that unfortunately different. But I love your use of words in this. I love the um alliteration for telling feigned filaments. And F's, I don't know about y'all, but F's are very hard for me to in alliteration, especially when they're longer, because it takes a mouth, it kind of tucks your bottom lip and you're all it takes a different part of your mouth than all the other letters. And so I've got a pouty bottom lip, and sometimes I get in my own way. That and my fat tongue, it is what it is. But I love this. I really, really do. Maybe the six senses and Christmas tides. Here's the thing. It is hard to look at a broken truth in whatever faction of broken truth it is. It is hard to look at what once was versus what is and not be heartbroken over it a lot of times. And it doesn't matter if it's, country. It doesn't matter if it's family. It doesn't matter if it's society at large. When you say maiming the six senses, that is full offense. That is, everything is broken. And bloodshed is bloodshed, even figuratively speaking. I love this. And I get that it's war and I get that it's broken, but on a people to people level, I mean, I guess on a grand scale, all these people, they give their lives, and for what? Because the country's still going to shit. I mean, I absolutely get that on a grand scale, but on a personal scale, it still tracks. It's still very much sometimes people suck. And this is sometimes all the people suck. And even in that, it's still really beautiful. So, Sweet Pea, your thoughts?
Oh my God. Okay, first off, I have to tell you that this is going to be on my top of Budo list. I am kind of enthralled with this, the way it's written, the way it's um, kind of explodes on the page. Um, you open this poem with such a chromatic vision of violence. It's just boom, it's there. And it's got such a palette of everything. But it's not like it's for um, like decoration colors and pretty things. It's really about a destabilizing force. Everything is slipping and melting and combusting together. It's like wax under a candle. It's um, slipping away from us. It is kind of a gesture that's mechanical, almost authoritarian, like there's nothing we can do about it. It's a brutal choice that's just going to happen. And I like Pretty Bird saying, maiming the sixth sense in crimson tides is such a violent metaphysical thing. It's as if it's so wounded that perception doesn't even work here. You might as well just give it away. It's not going to help us. Um, how it's like the Holy Grail just turns to ash. It doesn't even exist. Um, and all our flaws are revealed. It's the end of days are definitely in front of us. It's a deliberate echo of the rest of the poem, that last line. And it lands cold and chilly, and it's like you're just resigned to it because that's the way it is. I mean, it's just a remarkable piece of work. And you flow into it, and you just resign yourself to it. Really great work, Dan. Raconteur, your thoughts?
You know, I almost want to be an asshole. If anyone else but you had put this out there, it would read differently to me, because it almost sounds like someone's upset because they didn't get their acknowledgement, so they're bitching about it. It's like, I don't know. I want to stand it on its head, and say it sounds like, you know it's the end of the world, but because this didn't happen. Not that you're right, not that you're wrong. At the same time, how dare you be upset that things didn't happen the way that you expected them to. It's a different attitude, a different way of like I said, if it wasn't you that put this out there, it would feel different. But knowing where you're coming from about this, it hits hard, because um, it kind of is the end of the world, because people aren't doing what they're supposed to do, and it almost makes you cynical, in the sense of, you're the one that's doing it, and you're the one being punished for it. So yeah, you can't win, and and complaining about it isn't going to get you anything. No, it falls on deaf ears. So it's like, so you know what? I'm just going to sit down and shut up. It feels very deflating and defeatist. sometimes to just like you say, to just be like, I'm doing it, and that I'm not looking for anything, I'm not expecting anything. I'm just gonna do it, and then you get crapped on for it. So yeah, I like the idea behind it, but at the same time, I hear in other people's voices, I hear them being like, but me anyway.
Yeah, it was an excellent, excellent poem. Um, I have now got Mr. Raconteur on the board, right? And then we're going to follow that with announcements. But Rack, I have Reap What You Sow on the board. So if you guys see that, I will get him to play.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Let me get up here to this. Hopefully. I do love my music up here so well. I don't. Oh, one of these days I'm not going to have problems with this. I don't know why I do, but I
There's
do.
a lag between clicking it, so let it sit for a couple of seconds before you click it again and see if it'll pick up.
Okay. No, it just does not love me.
All right, let me try.
Okay.
Whipping up potions so people reap what you sow by Raconteur. My mother was known for whipping up potions, so people call me a son of a witch. I hope to one day master alchemy and make my family rich. I have 2 beautiful sisters, born identical twins. They grew up studying magic and dating handsome djinns. They revel in causing mischief, like scratching an insatiable itch, because when it comes time to pay the piper, nobody can tell which witch is which. One full moon, we all went out for a brew, forced to walk because we never learned to fly stick. So we strolled silently, shrouded in shadows, arriving unnoticed in the mood to frolic. Settled only a brief spell. I knew there was going to be trouble. We were told to abandon our drinks and leave on the double. My sisters cursed the tavern, rotting the teeth of anyone that ventured within, plaguing them with gout and herpes sores all over their skin. The difference between a witch and a princess is the love she's shown. Worship the ground she walks on, and you'll reap what you've sown. End poem.
I mean, that's a lot of something for nothing. I mean, the lack of attention. Here's the herpes. Son of a witch. I love your storytelling abilities. I really, really do. They cursed the tavern, rotting the teeth of anyone that ventures in, plaguing them with gout and herpes sores all over their skin. I mean, it's not even just the genitals, it's everywhere. I've got the face herpes, but because space herpes. I'm fine. I'm not old. I said nothing. And I absolutely love this. The difference between a witch and a princess is the love she is shown. Worship the ground she walks on, you'll reap what you've sown. And here's the thing about the truth of that, and maybe it's unfortunate, maybe it's not. If you treat your love with kindness, you will get back kindness. If you treat them like, they're like an evil bitch, oh, I'll show you what evil bitch looks like. Yeah. Don't test me. Okay, but there's something to be said for that, and I understand that the thing out there, that is very popular is treat a whore like a princess and a princess like a whore, and I'm sure that that psychologically, that works because it's the opposite of what they're used to, and they form an odd attachment, not knowing why, and there's, psychology behind the possibilities of all that, but I'm not gonna get into. But, for the non-broken types of people, that doesn't necessarily work. If you treat somebody well, and they, um and they hold you in high regard, then you will also be treated well. "Take care of me and I'll take care of you." That's what a mutual love looks like. I mean, then you've got the ones that are all, "No, take care of me," to the upper echelons of Chanel bags and Gucci earrings, or "You can kiss my ass, and I will make you beg for the scraps of so-called love that I give you, and you'll stay here forever," because I know a lot of people that play for what they want. And the problem isn't that they play for what they want, the problem is that they play because it's not a game. But they absolutely might as well be shooting craps and doing all the things. And I'm like, "Well, that's how you get the herpes." And I'm just saying. But I love the idea of if you take care of her, she'll take care of you. If you don't, your rotten teeth, the gout, the thing, she's gonna curse your drinking hole. You and your friends are gonna be diseased. It is what it is. You're never gonna have sex again. Ha ha. I love your storytelling. It's just so vivid and colorful. But I also love the idea behind it. They're beautiful, and if you are good to them, they will be good to you, even though they're impish, even though, you know, all of these things. That closing thing is, the difference between a witch and a princess. Now, here's the thing: these are witches, so they're not the princesses. So you get what you get because apparently they're just, witches. But even with that, the idea that it doesn't have to be this way is beautiful to me. It's there. Take care of me and I'll take care of you. However, sometimes a witch is just a witch and you get what you get because you play with fire, you're going to get burned. And it's not like they hid what they were, you know? It's not like you don't know who their mama is. I'm just saying sometimes you roll the dice and sometimes the pain is worth it. And the truth of that is probably why we don't all just give up on other people to begin with. Because um, if it always sucked, if there was no good before the suckage, we would never go back. We'd be like, "Fuck all y'all. I'm over it. I don't need anybody else. Y'all can kiss my bunghole and be done with it." But sometimes, the good outweighs the bad for a really
Punch your
long
bunghole.
time. Yeah, shut up. But sometimes the good outweighs the bad for a really long time. And now you find yourself in this position where how much you're going to take because it's that good, And I'm not even just talking to sex, I'm talking the whole thing. And we do it to ourselves because is this better or worse than being alone? And I mean, you have opened up a whole lot of thoughts in my head. So, the sign of great writing is that it inspires thought and it inspires um conversation and it inspires, well, more poetry and all the things. And this absolutely does that. And it's so vivid. And it makes me smile because right from the son of a witch, because that's how I read that, by the way. So, Sweet Pea, your thoughts on the twins?
Oh, well, you've done a great job at describing the crazy twins. I'm going to go and talk about the pun slinger and really talk about some of his wordplay because I think it's fabulous in here. Which is which? I newt. Toad to abandon. Fly stick. Brief spell. I just think that you've done such a great um, job on all of that. It just absolutely has made me giggle through the whole thing. I mean, the imagery and the punning is just hilarious throughout this. I mean, of course, the identical twins, the dating gins, um, that's a whole other thing. Cursing rotting teeth and raising sores. A family strolling under a full moon is it's just vivid and cinematic. Um, but the wordplay is just something else. And of course, you've got that mischievous, self-aware, you sound like you were raised in magic. And of course, you're always trouble. Um, but yeah, this is great. The difference between a witch and a princess, of course, we all know. You reap what you sow. But I know a lot of witches who think they are princesses, but they have no idea. But I really, really want just to point out your great little word plays because I really love Fly Stick and I absolutely adore, the Toad to Abandon and your brief spell. So just a great job on all of that too. You have such a talent for it, Mr. Raconteur. So, Mr. Budo, any thoughts on this great poem?
Well, I think you both covered about everything I was going to say, but I can always repeat because um, what Purdy was talking about at the very end, where you have the kind of a moral, about how you treat someone is how they'll treat you. And the wordplay is amazing because I'm reading it, I'm the first or the second line. So people call me a son of a witch, and I'm like, man, I would have messed that up because I would have just gone ahead and said son of a bitch, because that's just the way, I'm thinking. I'm like, okay. And then, I'm coming down and I'm reading, and um, because when it comes to time to pay the piper, nobody can tell which witch is which. I'm like, God, that's amazing. And the part about having to walk because they couldn't learn to fly stick. I mean, that is the coolest thing. It's like I can imagine how many times we were going somewhere, and if somebody couldn't drive stick, we were stuck. And then they would throw me in there, and I was the worst driver of all, and I would get us somewhere. But man, it took a while. And and also knew there was going to be trouble. Toad to abandon our drinks and leave on the double because I'm thinking the drinks and the double. You got double drinks, so it's like that connection right there. And of course, your last stanza. So that's just it's an amazing poem, and it's so hilarious. I love reading you because you tell the best stories. They are so good. So much appreciated, Rack.
Thanks. You know why witches don't wear panties, right?
No.
So they could get a better grip on the broomsticks.
Oh goodness.
OMG. Can't take you anywhere, Rack.
Never.
Oh, my
Oh
my
Lord.
dog has. I don't know if you can hear her with her snorting. I thought she sounds like. I mean, I'm sorry. She's a bulldog. She's really loud with her trying to get something out of her nose, and she's snorting like a pig. Now I love it when she sounds like a pig, but I don't know if y'all can hear that. It's a little embarrassing, but that's my dog.
She's so adorable.
She's very snorty. Oh my goodness. So is it time for announcements?
It is time for announcements. So,
Awesome.
Nonsense.
what
So
is coming
on
up?
Tuesday, absolutely. On Tuesday, it is penned by the ghosts of her pain. Everyone needs a safe place to purge pain, a place without outside judgment. For some, it's sports, for others, art. Then there are poets. It's the beauty of words that weave the tapestry of the human condition. This is a safe place to purge in the whispers and screams and beautiful words. That is Tuesday.
And then on Thursday is The Shape of Us. Love rewires our brains by releasing oxytocins, lowering the physical stress. It can help us live longer, or it can help us or live or shorter. It can be a bitter pill to swallow. Ultimately, love acts as both a mirror and a medicine. How has love shaped you?
And then next Friday, it is a pretty sweet story time. It is Cruel Summer. Summer love, no school, daily adventures with friends. Summer can be amazing. Unfortunately, it can also be cruel. Sweltering heat, boredom, and bad decisions can make for interesting stories, and everyone is welcome to call in and tell their stories of a cruel summer. And for those who have not been with us long enough to know what a story time is, we will post the link to call into the studio on every platform. We will post it on YouTube, on X, on Facebook the night of the show. So anybody can call in and tell us their stories, their unfortunate stories of how summer was once unkind. And there is no poetry that night. The story time is just us telling all of our TMI stories of all the crazy stuff that happens. So that is on the 10th.
Yes. And of course, you can listen to us live on all the platforms that you hear your podcasts, such as Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, YouTube.
No.
No.
No, we are only live on the 3, but you can find us regularly everywhere else.
Okay. Regular everest on Google, Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, and Podbean. You can listen to us live, here on YouTube and Twitter. And we have hours and hours that you
That's
can listen
formerly
to
known
our
as Twitter.
and you can
I
listen to hours of our stuff. We've got a lot to say. And of course, you want to listen. You can find us at PRTTYSWEET, prettysweet.com. And we are here every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 o'clock Eastern. Please leave any kind of note you'd like. Leave your love, leave your comments. We'd love to hear them. And sweet. Oh, that's me. I'm sweet. Oh, good God. Tells you how messed up I am tonight. Freebird, do you have anything else to add?
Absolutely. We go live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern. So you can find us, you can listen to us live on Facebook, X, and YouTube, and we will see you there.
All right. So, what do we have
Or not.
coming up? Or not? We
Now,
can do.
listen, you negative Nelly, stop your nonsense. Love you.
I'm going to say or not what? Please, yeah. So,
We'll see you
let's
there,
see.
or not.
We'll
Oh,
see you
well,
there.
you. Oh, I see. That was supposed to be funny because you're blind. I love you.
Oh, yes.
Listen, you can't
Wow.
deliver it like that and expect us to get it.
Yeah, no, not us. We're not that bright. Well, I'm not that bright. She is. I'm not.
You
Yeah,
should
because
wear
you're
your hair up so things don't go over your head.
OMG.
actually, I have my hair up tonight, which is funny. So it went over my head anyway. So lots going over my head right now. I've got things on
Well,
my
you need
mind.
taller platforms then.
Yes,
OMG.
I need to wear something to make me taller. So I have one of my poems up. It's called "You Lit the Match, Beware the Flame" by Sweet Pea. White bunny fur clouds float in blue-eyed baby doll skies with amber rays twinkling on midnight blue ocean waves, casting ebony elongated shadows. Skin hisses on sharp tongue lashes, crisp the outer flesh, a slow boil tick-tock to scarlet shade. You lit the match, maggots crawl from the cracks, flies attack, gobble on rotten ass, spread deadly disease. Lick the fire of hell's wings, hang the noose on bitterness around the neck of righteousness. Liar, adulterer, wipe the slate clean, hold hands without responsibility, shine trophies of participation, choke to death on ribbons of worthless recognition. Monsters in disguise, open black eyes, see the jealous Jezebel, a beaten wife, a teenage child. History of witches burned at the stake, inhale the ashes of their demise. Greetings at the gate of purgatory, burst the mercury scorch off wings. Lava rivers with foul human thieves, of kindness and respect, breaking the chains of trust. You lit the match, beware the flame. End poem.
I mean, I'm all for taking the perfidious and putting them in the rivers of hell. I'm good with that. I mean, that works for me. That it's fair, you know. There's something just treacherous about not just users, but the ones who build an entire life on somebody else's love and trust, where they then literally work in the catacombs of their own existence to undermine all the things, and then they're shocked when somebody figures it out, like, well, what did I do? You're an asshole. And you let the match beware the flame. I absolutely love that, because so many people don't realize that what they do causes pain. Now, I'm going to say this, they know it will, but they're shocked that it does. And then they're like, but what did I do? And then you can tell them what they did, and they're like, but I don't get it. Well, do you not have a heart? Do you not know emotions? Do you not feel some kind of way about anybody but yourself, that you don't understand why somebody is so hurt? Because if you're telling me you don't understand why I'm so hurt, because if I did that to you, you wouldn't give a shit. We are in a different relationship than I thought. But it's not usually that. It's usually they feel justified in feeling pain for any little thing that the other person might do, but they don't understand why people react to things that they do, because manipulative narcissists live in their own world of made up nonsense that have nothing to do with the reality of other people's emotions. If they had to have empathy for what somebody else might feel, they might just hate themselves a little too much, as well they should, I say. And you lit the match, maggots crawled from the cracks, flies attack and gobble on your rotten ass. And all I see is maggots crawl from the cracks of your rotten ass. And I love that because it's so gross. Like, well, when you talk out of your asshole and you have the halitosis, things, it goes to say something up there might be rotten. But I love this because it is absolutely visceral. It's absolutely um liar, adulterer, wipe the slate clean, hold hands without responsibility, and shine the trophies of participation. Why don't you participate in your own actual life instead of pretending that you live these other lives that have nothing to do with the reality of who you think you are versus who you show the people? Make up your gosh darn mind, and until you do, let your flesh render off in the fire and brimstone. I'm good with that. That literally sounds fair to me, but I love how vivid this is. I absolutely do. I mean, um, I don't want to be on your bad side. That's all I'm going to say. So, Raconteur, your thoughts about Hellfire?
I mean, I like the line about the match in the flame. That to me is like what I was saying about reaping what you sow. It's people bring things out in each other, and this is someone bringing out the worst in you, and the idea of you're not the woman I fell in love with. I'm the woman that you made me be. Well, not made me, but this is
Well,
what you
pretty
brought
much.
out. Yeah, I mean, this is what you called for. It's conjuring a spell. You did what you did, and this is the end result because one thing begets the next, and it, it's justifiable on the one side, and it's poetic in so many other ways because like you say, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. You did to your damn self, and I'm gonna end with that.
I mean, but that's an upcoming show that I haven't even posted yet. So that's fabulous. At least I know that it's going to be interesting. And Budo, your thoughts on the fire and brimstone?
So, what is that famous saying? Health hath no fury like a sweet peat scorned.
There you
and
go.
and this is it, because when when Sweet Pea read this, and I'm just imagining her imagining, because whoever did whatever they did to her, and she's standing there and she's looking at this person, and she has this like thing where all the walls have just tumbled down, and she's got this like long second of just her vision of everything that's gonna happen, and this is what she thought of in that split second, and it was a whole, it was all, put out there, and it was all in black and white, or maybe just red and yellow, I don't know, to match the flames. And at the very end of it, when it's done, then she looks at this person, she goes, okay, I see you, and that's it.
You lit the match.
And yeah, yeah, and that's it. Yeah, the match has been lit, and there's no turning back now. So yeah, let's move on to the
It
next
kind of
thing,
reminds
which
me of Firestarter by the Prodigy.
yeah, yeah, an
We will
amazing write,
start the
Sweet,
fire.
really.
Do not start with that song, you. But Sweet Pea, back to you.
Oh, that's great. Appreciate it, guys. Um, of course, now we're going to
And
go into the
nice and
star
bird.
of what? We're going to go into the star of all of
Okay.
our hearts. You and your birds or whatever. I didn't really hear what you said. All I heard was bird, and I'm not even sure what that means. You scare me.
He's sitting right there.
What?
It's people yelling for Pretty Bird. Yeah.
OMG.
Everybody's always yelling for Pretty Bird.
So, yeah, I know nothing, but this is Red is My Color by Moi,
Ooh.
Pretty Bird. Okay. It goes like this. Polite society isn't so, not in this day and age. So please and thank you morphed into if I do then, or what will I get in return? So if you're not paying me to do for you, I'm not paying you for my kindness. So transactions aren't kindness, they are math, and I've never been good at math. Math is an affection and kindness is free, and I'll do it all out of love. But you do nothing without payment. Spreadsheets of accountability, ledgers of accounting. I'm in red while you remain black. But it will never be equal with this only if mentality where you think your time is worth more than my effort. And it's only a matter of time before you are alone, tethered to your weighted black lines. I always look good in red, and I will never be good at math. End poem.
Oh, I love the last line. I'll never be good at math. But I love the metaphor of the balance sheets. The ledgers of actually, linear accounting, the payables and the receivables, and, just really keeping track of that because so many people do. Um, it's like, this is my red and black. We're not, black is that cold calculation, that self interest, that isolation. And, red is that passion, that sacrifice, that honesty. And it's, you have this perfect tone where there's no begging, no pleading, just the complete imbalance and stepping into self-worth. I always look good in red and I'll never be good at math. Is like, I'm not keeping track. I don't care what you're doing. I'm not good at math. I'm not good at keeping all these numbers for you to tell me what I did or I didn't. And, you know, I love how you have the ability to keep it like open yet very linear and cold because I'm going to give you everything. I'm not going to keep track. So why are you? What's wrong with you that you have to do this? Because, you know, you're kind of exhausted where, why does kindness become your currency? Why is it always treated like a condition? Why is that done for you? Why are you doing that? It makes no sense to me. I'm just here to love and give. And you've got this ledger of, if I do this and if I do that and I do this, and it's exhausting. It's only a matter of time before you're alone, tethered to your weighted black lines. And I'll never be good at math. It's just really a beautiful right, Pretty Bird, and a sad right because somebody doesn't know what they have. Raconteur, your thoughts?
Oh my goodness. The idea of it being transactional comes out in this so beautifully. For some people anyway, and the way that you put it, it's like well, that may work for you, but it don't work for me comes also through in this to me. So I love the idea of it. It reminds me of when I fell in love with Big Bang Theory. It was Leonard and Penny are having a conversation in the hallway, and Penny looks at him and says, "Yeah, are you some kind of a nerd?" And he puffs up his chest. He's like, "I'm the king of the nerds." And she screws up her face and she's like, "So what does that mean?" And he thinks about it seriously for a second and he says, "It means if you displease me, I won't set up your printer." It's like the idea behind that, the truth behind that is like, you need me more than I need you, and I could be petty too, and all the things, that's when I fell in love with that show because they kind of get it because that's how nerds are, you know. If you displease me, I won't set up your printer. Oh my goodness, but yeah, so. I'll set up your printer, Pretty Bird. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but see, the thing here is that I know how to set it up myself.
Yes, you do. You don't need me to set it up, but I'll certainly do it for you because your arm hurts.
I will let you. And if anybody knows me, I do not let people help me because I do not like needing people. And so I do everything myself. And if I ask for help and you say no, I'll never ask you again. But me accepting help when it's offered outright, that's what love looks like. I'm just saying.
I'll even plug in the toner.
OMG.
And Budo, your thoughts on this?
So when I read this, I think of it's a comparison of two different entities, of course, with the colors red and black. Red being risky, um, hot, um, taking chances, um, and maybe not always worrying about what will happen in the future. Now with black, it's opposite. It's neutral. It's calculating because of the ledgers and the tables, and everything is set up so that its future is predictable. You take a math problem, you will know the answer at the end. You plug in the numbers, boom, you get it. It's always going to be predictable. With red, you don't know. Black is risk aversion. So it's always in control. So if it's in control, it thinks it has something over other people because, it's always on this even keel. But the problem with even keels is you don't really get to enjoy the journey of life as the red entity does because it will jump all around like a heartbeat. So it might not know its future, but that's the cool part because when it gets there it will find out. And if you had to choose which one, maybe it's a combination of both, to stabilize your life. But I think it's really cool because I think when I read this, Purdy is like all red. you know she's out there, she's going to go 200 miles an hour, no brakes. But you know what? She's gonna have the windows down, the hair is gonna be blowing, and she's like, "Man, I'm having a great time." Well, the other entity is going, the speed limit in a, what? One of those electric cars, because it's got to be controlled. So that's how I see this poem, and it's really really cool because it really makes you think about the way you think about how your life should go. Which way should you go? Which route should you take? Probably taking the riskier route would be the better one, because with that you're going to get much more gains, and you're going to enjoy things much more. You'll have probably a lot more hurt, but at the same time you'll have a lot more good times too, because that's what life's all about. It's the highs and the lows. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, so I love your view on that, but hearing your description of red and black, I full on am the black, and Sweet Pea is full on the red because she is, you know, whimsical and fun, and I'm
uh,
all straight line A B C D E F G when it comes to real life things. I am my kids have told me that I ruin everything, and I don't know what fun is. But I
I don't believe
love
that.
that you see me as vibrant. Now, it's not that I'm not vibrant, but just
Hmm.
tactically speaking, in decision-making skills that I lack. I am very straight line, all the worst case scenarios, have to plan everything out, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and she will come at me sideways with
Hmm.
all the whimsical craziness, and I'm like, "Wait a
Hmm.
second, I have to find a hole in my line of dots to be able to stick it all in there," and so we work well together, which I absolutely love. Personally speaking, outside of work and stuff, I love that you see me as vibrant because it's not that I'm not personality wise. This is strictly logic wise, you know?
Hmm.
So I absolutely love that. Okay, so I'm imagining from your description that you're seeing me like a flamenco dancer in a red dress with the skirt all over the freaking place doing twirls, because that's what it sounded like to me. That's how I visualize that. And I'll be happy to
Uh-huh.
be that girl. I want to be that girl. That's lovely. I'll put the flowers in my
Yeah.
hair. We're good.
Well, I think if you had the opportunities, and if that came up, you would, because you're brave enough to do those things, and you would care less how you look to everybody else as long as you were having a good time.
Oh,
And
this
that's
is
how I
true.
see you. So, you know,
This is true. I gave a crap about nobody else's opinion of me.
there you go.
There's like 5 people opinions that actually could break me because I hold them in such high regard. Well, one of them is no longer with us. So there's like 4 people's opinion of me that could actually break me. Um, and everybody else, doesn't matter how much I love them, they don't impact who I am as far as what I do, because nobody ever agrees with me, you know? People are like, "Well, you should, and you should, and you should."
Almost nobody.
And this is true. "You should, and you should, and you should," and my response is, "But I didn't ask you." No,
Uh-huh.
I didn't say, "Should I?" If I'm asking you, then you matter to me, you know?
Yeah.
But most of the time,
Yep.
I don't ask because I'm gonna do what I have decided what I wanna do. I don't care if you think it's stupid. I didn't
Hmm.
ask you because I didn't want you to tell me that you think it's stupid. And then you could be offended that I don't care that you think it's stupid. Now that's a whole other fight that has nothing to do with what I'm still doing. So I love that you um took this poem of full on. I literally wrote it right before the show. I was like in the thing, just typing it up. And that it's full on. You take and you take and you take and you take and you take, and I will give all of the things until I get tired of you being that selfish, and you're going to find yourself alone. And you turn this into these beings of wonder on both sides differently, and I love that you found that in my crappy math skills because it makes me sound better than I am, and I greatly appreciate it.
So funny. Oh gosh.
Hey, Bud, don't
Yeah.
poo-poo the electric car. Ferrari came out with one that tops out at 190 miles an hour.
Yeah, I saw that. I was
Each wheel
reading
has
up
its
on that.
each wheel has its own engine.
Right. Well, that's like Teslas, right? They have four little engines.
Okay, I'm gonna say something about a Tesla. So I was in my niece's Tesla, and it's the first Tesla that I've been in, and I'm like, "I could never drive this car. There's just too much going on with this screen and that is distracting." But it has like a loudspeaker. It has a whole system where I can just
Oh,
talk and it announces it to the outside world. And we were in the parking lot and my family was getting into the other car. I was like, "Bye guys, I love you." And they're looking around like,
Oh
"Where
my
did that
god.
come from?" Because we were all enclosed
Oh
in the
my
little
god.
car across the way. And that's the best thing ever. I would get one just for that. Because I could
That's so
full
funny.
on road rage out loud with my windows closed and the AC. Like, listen, fuckers, get out of the way. Oh, that would crack me up. I
That's
would be
funny.
dangerous in that car.
Oh
Oh
my.
my goodness.
back to you, sweet.
Uh-oh.
Sweet pea, you're muted.
Hey,
She on
Paper.
mute? Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, Remington just collapsed. I gotta go.
Okay, you keep me
what?
posted.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye, sweetheart.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Her
Her dog.
doggy was having if it was having issues and he collapsed, so she's gonna
Oh
come and
no.
take care of him.
Oh
Okay, but
no.
she'll keep us posted. We will all keep the puppy in our prayers.
Uh-huh.
You are up, by
Oh.
the way, if you're okay to read.
Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, this one's called Empty Platitudes. Oh, hang on. Mom's having a bad dream.
Okay.
Mama. Shh. Mama, it's okay. Ma, it's okay. You're okay. You're having a dream. It's okay. Just relax.
I muted them because that's not everybody's business. I'm just saying.
Right?
But well, there's drama tonight. I feel bad. I will keep you posted, Raccoon, when I hear anything.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll let you know
Let
if I
me.
see anything.
You can't see shit, Mr. Man.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I
I
will.
texted my aide. I texted my aide that I said I don't mean to complain. I'm looking at my dishes and I can't see myself.
Oh, MG, you are just exactly who you are. So what I am going to do while he is taking care of business is I am going to put your next one up if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
All right. Let me just put this up here. And that way we can do all the things. Okay, here we go. We'll see if it'll work for me.
Last Dance by Raconteur. Tragic broken figure lying petrified on the floor, bereft of passionate purpose, marred in dreams of dancing just once more. Candy apple lips weave a spell as she speaks, lifting me on cherub wings. Wearing an impish grin, she admonished, "Stop making such a mess of things." Red-rimmed eyes inspire the stars and the sea, compelling me to wrap my arms around her, gently whispering, "Would you dance with me?" Holding her like a porcelain doll, intoxicated by the scent of cinnamon hair. forever lost in that moment in time, dancing again without a care. End poem.
Okay. Tragic broken figure lying petrified on the floor, bereft of passionate purpose, mired in dreams of dancing just once more. Something about this, for some reason, reminds me of, oh crap, what is that movie? The Meet on the Empire State Building. Oh crap, that's
Harry Met Sally.
and Fair to Remember. No, that was the second one. Love Affair was the first one.
You've Got Mail?
No. This is old. Love Affair is 1939.
Oh, the meeting on the top of the Empire State Building. That's right.
Yeah. This is not the one. But anyways, it's an affair to remember. And so the premise, for those who don't know, is that these two people from different worlds meet, they fall in love, they're out on vacation doing whatever they're doing. They're both from New York. They're like, fine, if this is real, I'll meet you on top of the Empire State Building in a year. In a year, the guy goes up there, she's not there. He is heartbroken because he's absolutely in love with her. And he eventually finds out that she's in a wheelchair. She's paralyzed because she was in the street looking up at the Empire State Building, and she knew he would be there. So she wasn't paying attention. She got hit by a car, and he loved her anyway. And so this, mired in dreams of dancing just once more, where she's just kind of laying there, it makes me just think of this whole compelling me to wrap my arms around her, gently whispering, "Would you dance with me?" Holding her like a porcelain. That's just what this reads to me, where you pick her up, where she's floating on air, and she's dancing, and it's a beautiful, loving thing. And I love that movie. Now I'm going to cry because I was having this conversation with my niece earlier about what love looks like. And I was like, it's the people that are like, oh, you might want to go on a diet. You gained a few pounds. And that's not what love looks like. It's never what love looks like. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. It's one thing to be worried about someone's health and to be like, listen, I absolutely love you, and there's more cushion for the pushing and all of the things. But so long as you're happy, I'm happy, because 15 pounds isn't going to kill anybody, But it doesn't.
It
Love
is if I
doesn't
roll
look
over
like.
on you in the middle of the night.
I mean, I don't mind being rolled up on, depending on what's available. I'm just saying. So there
Oh,
is. Love looks like, I don't care about your weight. I don't care if you're losing your hair. I don't care if you get hit by a car and are paralyzed. I will still love you. I will still take care of you. It's not going to change the way I feel about you. And watching you work through hardships and being strong through that is probably going to make me love you more and make me more apt to want to hold you up on those moments where you feel you're not enough. You will always be enough. That's what love looks like. And this just brought me to that place, and lying petrified on the floor for whatever reason she's there, and picking her up and carrying her to dance one last time. That's just what that feels like to me. And it is sad, and it is beautiful, and it is what love looks like. And I absolutely love that. I do. And the red rimmed eyes inspire the stars in the sea. Even when she's broke down and crying, she is still beauty personified. And that's what love looks like. And I love that. So, that's what I think. So, Bud, did you get a chance to read it? I know you just got
Yeah,
back, so go ahead.
yeah. This is a very gorgeous, beautiful poem. I agree with you about what you said about this is real true love here. The first lines, tragic broken figure lying petrified on the floor. Oh my, this is something that just pulls you right in, and you can just imagine dancing with somebody who means this much to you. But it's also, it's a sad thing when you read Last Dance, because it's like this is going to be it. This is just a memory of what you had at one time. So you're thinking back to what you did have, and this is soul crushing. Holding her like a porcelain doll, intoxicated by the scent of cinnamon air, forever lost in that moment in time. Oh man, to be lost in that time again, dancing without a care when time stops, and you two are living a forever moment. Those moments are very extremely rare, and those are the ones you remember. So hopefully there's a whole lot of truth in this, that this was actual something that happened that you can remember, and hopefully brings a little bit of light to your life, Rack, because we all need that, and you deserve it. You really do. Being a good soul that you are, you really do.
I concur. So
I think
here's the
about that a
thing
lot. Hmm?
about his good soul.
Yeah, because Rack is he's such a gentle soul, but at the same time, you've got all these things, and I never hear you complain about anything. And you remind me of my mom, because she's always saying the same thing.
That's
She
like
will
a
say, like,
massive
I'm
compliment.
happy when I wake up. I have the sun shining on me. I have no pain. I'm still living. Why should I be upset about anything? Why should I not be happy? And that's her mantra, and I try to follow
Cause
that.
I
It
love
could be
you.
And I fail
worse.
miserably, but yeah, it could be, but and I hate saying that with her, because I'm afraid it will happen. So so
Knock
this
on
this
wood.
is yeah, exactly. Let me knock on my head here. Okay.
I'm not
So,
superstitious.
Okay,
It's
not, you
fine.
wouldn't yet.
oh no, no.
OMG.
Well,
Oh, I have jokes. I'm going to shut up. But
yeah,
there's something
yeah.
to be said about being able to truly love somebody, because people are like, there's no such thing as unconditional love. And all I have to say about
Oh
that
yeah, there
nonsense
is.
is this, is that how I feel about someone has never been contingent upon how they feel about me. So that they can be
Hmm.
going through whatever it is. If I love you, I love you. People have a
Hmm.
problem letting somebody love them through their ugly moments, love them through their pain or their weakness or whatever they perceive to be less than their best. That is not on the person loving them, that's on the person afraid of being loved. And all we can do is reassure them and show them that we're going to be there. And in those ugly moments, when they do their best to claw and scratch their way out of our orbit, because sometimes they do, to love them through it anyway. And hopefully, when they realize that you're there through all this stuff, they can relax and feel safe. But for people that have never known safety and affection, it is a hard road, and it is a hard thing to go through, to love somebody through
Um,
that.
it's
Because yeah, because
useless.
they lash out, and people
Yeah.
take that as, "What did I do to you?" And it has nothing to do with you. Their
Yep.
reaction to you has everything to do with what their experience prior to you is. And so many people are very much fuck me, fuck you when it comes to relationships. I deserve better. Then what? Then somebody who's broken? You're broken. I'm broken. We all have our own little cracks and duct tape pieces, you know? You can't claim to love somebody if you don't love them entirely. You can be like, "I love her,
Yeah.
but I hate the way she sucks on her teeth." No, you that it listen, people can have
Hmm.
annoying habits, but
Hmm.
no part of love is hate. In my
Yeah.
experience, love comes with this thing of I don't love you despite your faults. I love you because of them. I mean, all these
Right.
little tiny eccentricities that other people find
Yeah.
annoying that make you you because they're you, I love them,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And
Love comes with acceptance, you know?
of all
It's
things.
it's about accepting them just the way they are, because perfect imperfection is amazing stuff. You know, it really is.
Well,
And you can be that way. And
it's funny
and it's
because
cool because
people
it's
aren't
like
imperfect that
wherever
way.
you're broken and where they're broken, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. And a lot of times, if it meshes up right, um, you can barely see the cracks, you know, because they get filled in with a little bit of love glue, I guess.
Oh, now I've got Rocky.
And
I've got gaps. You got gaps. We fill gaps.
there you
And
go.
that's
There you
exactly
go.
what that is. But I think it's funny
That,
because people
that's
confuse
where the maggots
acceptance.
from.
Oh
People
God.
confuse acceptance with
Yeah.
exceptions. And
Mhm.
that's the difference between despite
Mhm.
and because. And people are like, I shouldn't have to make myself less to make you feel more. And that's
No.
true.
No.
But if you feel like you're making yourself less, that's not
Mhm.
what love looks like, you
No.
know?
It's not. It's
You
not.
don't have to be smaller to shine. Your light should shine bright enough to light you both when the other light is dim. It
Yes.
has nothing to do
Exactly.
with making yourself small. So,
Nope.
I absolutely love that.
Li-
But you are
Like
Yeah.
the
It's
poem.
beautiful.
yeah,
Beautiful poem.
absolutely. So whenever you are ready, bud.
Okay. All right. So let's see. So that's empty platitudes, I'm sure. Let's see. Okay, here we go. All right. Beg, steal, and borrow, these trappings bend sorrow. Falsify men's utterly divine when falsehoods reign sublime. Catch a fallen dying star, the damning clutches of an arc. Burn the sulphur lighted match, sullied embers in the catch. Words come cheap as filler dirt, empty content leaves the hurt. Time to turn the tainted page of empty shelf, the bitter rage. End of poem.
To brevity.
Yes, it's so short. It's like, wow.
Beg, steal, and borrow these trappings bend sorrow. There's something beautiful about the idea of bending sorrow on its own. But to beg, steal, and borrow to make you feel better, to that the idea that the trappings of things of um, these superficial things that you can have, it's kind of like retail therapy, which I mean, if it makes you feel better, it makes you feel better. I never understood that whole thing, but um I do like the idea on its own of bending sorrow. That's such a beautiful turn of phrase because, you know, turn that smile or turn that frown upside down and all the things which I absolutely love. Ah, catch a fallen, dying star, damn in the clutches of an arc. That is a sinister, sinister way to I wish I way I wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. Because I'm not twisted, it's fine. Burn the sulfur lighted match, sullied embers is the catch. This sounds like I need a cauldron. Words come cheap as filler dirt, empty content leaves the hurt, and this is true. There is something to be said about actions speak louder than words, but sometimes you still need the words, so long as they match the actions. Time to turn the taint. I just read your whole damn poem. Time to turn the tainted page of empty shelf, the bitter rage. And here's the thing. We do have to leave it behind you, or it encompasses all of our stuff, and it feeds on the good, and it turns us into people we never wanted to be, you know? Words come cheap as filler dirt, and I've never appreciated lip service. Like, don't tell me what you think I want to hear. Don't try to kiss my ass. Don't tell me lies and fluff and nonsense. Just give me the bitter truth. Let's work through it and move the F on. And people just don't understand that their soft words, their their sugar-coated partial untruths will always feel like a stab to the gut rather than a harsh, bold-faced truth can still be respected, even if it's ugly. So I love this empty platitudes. I love this because people I don't with the placating and the platitudes and the bullshit and stop kissing my ass and because now I have no respect for you, go away. Um, because apparently I'm an asshole and I'm okay with that. But I can't get past the catch a fallen dying star, the damning clutches of an ark. I can't stop equating that with how people wish on shooting stars and hope against hope and all the things. And this is just a fuck you, star, just fuck you. And I love it. I absolutely love that. So I love that each couplet stands alone and still works so well together. I love that it kind of reminds me a little bit of uh double double toil and trouble. So I kind of want to read this in front of a cauldron because it's all the things all at once and it is delightful. So Raconteur, your thoughts.
It almost feels like a spell, like you say. I really enjoy it. I don't know, I kind of don't know what to say beyond that. I mean, the idea of it is just, I kind of wish, but at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of funny because it's like I was just thinking about a lot of cliches and changing them and rewording them a little bit, and that's basically all I did.
Uh
And I thought, well, let's throw them all
huh.
together. Throw something about rage and wishing upon a star and beg, stealing, and borrowing, and that's kind of how it came.
I think it's awesome. Your the quote that you wrote to starts with "Sorry is the Kool-Aid of human emotions." It's what you say when you spill a cup of coffee. I freaking love that because we just had a show with the sorry,
Uh-huh.
I'm
Not,
sorry,
not
but
sorry.
and I
Yeah.
absolutely love the fact that yeah, that's what you say when you spill a cup of coffee, because
Uh,
I'm sorry on its face, just on its own, doesn't fucking fix a damn thing. It fixes nothing.
right.
And it doesn't take accountability. And depending on what comes after, I'm sorry. Is it enough? No, it's a start. It is always a start if it is sincere. I'm so sorry. Without any
Hmm.
qualifiers, not I'm sorry you feel that way, not I'm sorry you
Yes.
got hurt, not I'm
Yes.
sorry, but, none of that. Just I am so sorry.
Yep.
How can I fix it? Tell me how to make it better. What do I have to do? I wasn't thinking I didn't mean it that, I never meant to hurt you. I whatever it is, just how do I fix it? And people stop it. I'm sorry. I'm like, good for you. Do you feel better? Because I don't, and there's this whole entire thing, and I forget where I heard it, but it remains true. If you smash a plate and it's in pieces, does I'm sorry fix it? And the answer will always be no. It fixes nothing. It's a start. It's the beginning of how to take accountability, you know? And also, you don't have to say I'm sorry if you are not sorry,
Right.
you know?
Yep.
Um just because it's polite and it's kinder than not, I don't need your insincerity because now you think I'm an asshole. I get the feeling that you think I'm
Hmm.
stupid because I know you better than your bullshit, you know? Just be like,
Yeah.
listen, this is an unfortunate outcome, you know? How do we move past this? So this with zero intent of everything, things sometimes go sideways. If you didn't do anything wrong, you have nothing to apologize for. That doesn't mean that you don't take steps forward to mend things. You just don't have to apologize for something that doesn't need apologizing for. And I'm still the girl that apologizes for, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." Oh, because it's I tend to be a wee bit abrasive. I'm very straightforward in my language, very kind of cut to the chase, very I don't have time for your bullshit. Just get to the point, you know? And so it rubs people wrong because I tend to be slightly more curt than the average Joe. It is who I am. I'm not apologizing for how I talk to people because that's what my honesty looks like. But if I am talking to somebody who starts blinking weird and I'm triggering their trauma because sometimes my tone triggers people's experienced pain that I know nothing about, I'm not going to apologize for talking how I talk and being who I am. I will, however, ask them what they need to make future conversations easier on them, you know? Because it's one thing to recognize there's a problem, but if you didn't cause that problem, you don't have to apologize for who you are to fix the problem, you know? And I think that everybody gets, for the most part, gets lost in the, but I said I'm sorry. What are you, 3? That is how we teach toddlers accountability, you know? I'm sorry, and then you wanna, you hug the other kid or do whatever, or here, borrow mine if I broke yours, whatever you teach them as children. But the learning in life does not end when you're a toddler or when you're in elementary school. And people a good chunk of people don't know what to do outside of apologizing. How many times have you known somebody say, I've said I'm sorry 50,000 times. What more do you want from me? Maybe change your actions. Maybe take accountability. Maybe don't do it again. But they literally think that, oh, I'm sorry, my bad, is enough to wash
My
the
bad.
slate clean, you know? And I will never understand that. Um, to the point where one of my kids is stubborn as all get out. I love him dearly. He's a lot like me that way. But he's stubborn as all get out and he hates being wrong and he will lose his mind and storm off mad, right? And I'm like, listen, I'm still your mom, and that's disrespectful. Well, I'm going to talk to you however I want to talk to you. I was like, are you sure about that? You might want to think that over. Yeah, I can't talk to you. Slam the door and go away. And you're like he'll slam the door and then he'll go away. He doesn't tell me to go away. And sometime later that day, I get a text saying, I didn't mean it that way, and I'm really, really sorry. And I'm in a mood, and then I tend to take it out on you. Like you will write all the things. And I'm just like, "That's my boy," you know? Because while I'm not a big fan of storming off, I will always accept a heartfelt apology. And they tend to give the reasons because by the time they were 8 years old, I'm like, "What are you sorry for? I need you to name it. If you don't know what you're sorry for, I can't say, I accept your apology," you know? Because we have to teach people how to be good grown-ups as they're growing up. Because it's a hard thing to learn when you're already grown, if nobody ever taught you to take accountability. I mean, you think about what you did. What did you do? Well, I did this. Okay, well, why did that
What
cause a
did you do?
problem? I don't know. I'm like, okay. And then we have to have these conversations. But I am a grown ass woman talking to grown ass adults. I am not going to teach a 40-year-old anybody how to take accountability for shit that they did. You're grown.
What?
I ain't your mama. you know? And they're like, "Well, I don't know what you want from me." I was like, "And this is why we can't be friends, because everybody needs to understand why people react to things they do in the unexpected ways. If you don't understand somebody's reaction, ask them, please tell me what I did that hurt. What part of what I did hurt so bad, and why does it hurt? I'm not trying to be stupid. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I need to understand what it is I did because I think I'm missing something." And these are not easy conversations to have. They're uncomfortable, and they are always necessary, because if you really don't know what you did and why somebody's crying over there because you did something, said something, forgot something, if you can't figure it out, ask the question so that you understand. Because saying you're overreacting and you're too sensitive, that will yeet you out of my life faster than anything else, because don't put your bad behavior on me just because you're afraid to have a conversation. Oh boy, I just go sideways, don't I? Jeez Louise. Apparently, I feel some kind of way about some kind of stuff. So, do y'all have anything to add to whatever it is I was just talking about? Because I went completely sideways. Anyone? Anyone?
Yeah, there's nothing worse than having an insincere "I'm sorry," you know? Oh,
I
it
mean, it's
grates me
true.
to no end. I'm like, "Why are you wasting your breath? Go away.
No,
Don't
no, no, no.
don't
That's
I just
that's not the worst. The worst
I
is
don't
when you
want
give
it."
a sincere when you give a sincere apology and the person accuses you of saying, "Yeah, sorry, you got caught."
Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
People are like
That's
that.
ridiculous.
People, but it's
That's so
true. They
silly.
don't want to accept it, because I'm assuming for the most part, the people that don't accept a sincere apology never apologized sincerely. They don't know what it looks like,
Nope.
you know? And there are too many adults that don't understand how to take accountability, how to apologize wholeheartedly, how to show remorse without, feeling less of a whatever. You know, they just don't know how to interact on an emotional level. And um I don't know where the fault in that is. I mean, as a mom, I take full accountability for turning my 4 boys into, good young men. And I am sending them out in the world. I made sure that they can do their own laundry. They know how to cook at least 4 different full-ass meals complete with side dishes. They know how to clean a toilet. They know how to fix drywall. They can do all the things. They don't have to rely on anybody. They can clean, they can cook, they can be out in the world and on their own, and not be a gross, disgusting slob of a pig, you know? I also taught them that, if you care about someone, friend or partner, there's a certain level of respect that you need to show regardless of whether they're by your side or not. And I teach them how to people. And they all learn differently. I have one fully on the spectrum. He's a little hard-headed. It took a lot, but he is still my most polite child. Unless you do something stupid, then he'll tell you off in a heartbeat, because they will
you
stand on
touch
their
your
own
shit.
2 feet. So, I don't understand how we get so many people that don't know how to apologize, and I think that that comes with the rising level of entitlement, because, if they think they deserve anything and they don't have to do anything for anybody, why should they apologize? And the world is a broken place, and I don't know how to begin to fix it. I mean, not that it's just my job, but we should all want to be better and do better and teach the next generation better. But the problem is sometimes people suck, and I kind of hate everybody. So I don't know how to take responsibility for grown ass people, because I ain't their mama. I'm just saying. I really feel some
Well,
kind of way. I'm going to shut my pie hole. Go ahead.
I was gonna say no, you're not. You're gonna say good night.
I am. I've got all my things up for the announcements. So on Tuesday, it is penned by the ghost of her pain. It is everyone needs a safe place to purge pain, a place without outside judgment. For some, it's sports, for others, arts. Then there are poets. It's the beauty of words that weave the tapestry of the human condition. And that is on Tuesday next week. On Thursday, it is the shape of us. It is love can help us live longer or shorter. It can be a bitter pill to swallow, but ultimately, love acts as both a mirror and medicine. How has love shaped you? And on Friday, it is Cruel Summer, a pretty sweet story time where anybody can call in and tell us about the cruelest of summers they've experienced. And it is all conversation and no poetry on our Storytime shows. So you can listen to our podcasts wherever you listen to your podcasts. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the places. Type in Pretty Sweet, PRTTY Sweet, all one word. Click on the red shoes, and you can listen to hundreds upon hundreds of hours of distractions of us talking about all the things using all the grown-up words. We go live every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can listen to us live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on X, i.e. Twitter. Again, just type in Pretty Sweet, PRTTY Sweet, and click on those same red shoes and like, follow, share, leave your opinion and our opinion, and click all the hearts and show us some love. So we had a great time here tonight, as we usually do, and we hope that you did too. However, if you did not, are you ready, guys? Say it with me. If you did not, you can
Fuck all the way off.
Fuck off.
Thank you. That was awesome. Good night.